Welcome back to the channel. It's Conrad from Machina. We've had a couple of big weeks. I won't take too long in the intro. Let's just get straight into the update. Week 15 update. First off, we have the contracting side of the business. This is all continuing very well. I've taken a bit of time off from other things this week to focus on this. We've got a number of clients wanting quotes, wanting to meet, expecting deliverables. So that's been a big focus this week. Unfortunately, there was a customer that I was talking about in one of the early videos. They were hoping to do a small batch of say 5 to 10 of their items locally. We haven't been successful trying to find someone to help with that. So we are going to look at doing something outside of the country. That's just a reality of business in Australia. We can't always achieve the most perfect result, but it's still a win. We're still keeping IP in the country, and it's a product that wouldn't exist otherwise. On the STEM front, there has been progress there. So I've been looking at a number of places, either the library style spaces or also the art gallery. They're still good. I've met with both of those people in the last 2 weeks. There's a few limitations there. I was hoping to do official collaborations, but we're going to stay independent, which is useful. There's pros and cons either way. Everyone sort of agrees this is the easiest way to do it for now. So that's what we'll do. I'm looking to host workshops in the next month at both one at the library, one at the art gallery, and then also I want to have one at an independent space. So we'll call that a commercial space. I want to trial a slightly different thing in that commercial space. I want to do like a robot v robot sort of situation, but basically putting one technology, which is hydraulics versus electronics. So here's a little circuit diagram. Two similar functional machines that I want to get the students to put together to start with, and then we'll put them through a series of trials, 3 functional test sort of stuff, and see which one comes out on top. And then we can have a big discussion about pros and cons of either, limitations of electronic actuators versus hydraulic actuators, inherent positives with electronics by using rotary encoders that are more accurate, things like that. So I think that'll be interesting for younger people who probably haven't had much exposure to any of that sort of thing. Coming back to the art gallery, we had talked about trying to replicate some artworks that they had in a current exhibition. Now that exhibition's ending quite soon, so we won't have time for that, but I'll show you some of the samples I was doing. One of the problems I was having was comparing, say, a glue like this, which is very kid safe, to a UV set resin, which this is also marketed as 4+ kid safe, but it's quite fumey. I'll show you the two differences in the end results now. So here we have the jig that I constructed. It was pretty basic. These two were fashioned together. Like so. And then initially started looking at just PVA glue, trying to get it to hold that shape, trying to replicate corrugations in iron. Not really very good. This was a sample I did originally with this type of glue, but once again, this is a very waxy material. It didn't soak in properly at all. So this will hold a shape, but it won't hold a nice form. And when I peeled it off, it lost all of that curve. The next thing, I had some help from the wife here to do this with a triple barrel hair curler. So this was using a backing material, and then we curled it. So this is the native curled material, and then this is treated with the glue. Now this all worked pretty well and it holds the shape quite nicely, but that required the heat and the backing. So I'm not too sure about the heat with students. I think we can do it with risk assessments, but it's easier if we don't. So this was the end result with the resin, which is really good. And this is with a Hessian material. So what I'm hoping is I could create a workshop introducing students to fabrication with composites using a resin like this and a material like this. This is only one coating of resin and setting just with a UV torch. So with a better setup in a 2-hour workshop at MRAG, I think we could definitely do that with resin. So we can definitely create these shapes. You could have, you know, whatever sort of decoration you want on the Hessian first. It's quite white to start with. So that could be fun. And then you set it in forms and then we can mock up structures with those forms as well. So we'll see how that goes. So wrapping up, we'll look at the social side. We had the #1 HIF Innovators Lunch for the year. As predicted, this went really well. I was really proud of young Jai, who I've known for a little while. And also there was a representative there, Jay from Allegro, and she was fantastic as well. Learn a few things about recruitment. I've really struggled to recruit in regional areas over the years. So it's interesting now to communicate directly with recruiters and see the problems they have versus the problem I had trying to do it independently. Last week, we also had the Cell Pitch Fest and Expo. I've been to a few pitch style events, but normally they're for businesses that haven't started. This one was very interesting. You had a number of businesses that were established, they were operational, they had a nice track record of previous projects. So you had people like Design Anthology, in EVs, and Arc Soil. Along with these pictures, we had some very nice displays outside, some good 3D printed scale models, which is always nice to see, and a really good turnout actually at a nice facility down near Burgal. Lastly, a quick word about the initiative, the STEM WIP AMA. I've done a lot of sessions around all of Newcastle and Maitland in the last 2 weeks. Once again, not a lot of questions, but very interesting discussion about signage with the libraries and not looking as if I'm soliciting. So I will keep doing these. What I'll do is I'll focus on some more business setups. So I'll go to your business, a few offers to put me up. Just before I head off, I want to mention a session today that I went to for the I2N pre-accelerator. That's in Newcastle and also now on the Central Coast this year. If you are trying to launch a new idea or business, I'd recommend applying to that now. Applications close on the 22nd of March, and that is a fantastic program, and they do not take IP. It's sort of a thing that the uni does to give back and to boost the local economy. Okay, thanks for having me again, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. We're sticking to it. 2 weeks.